Hello there and welcome to Circuit de Catalunya for the race in Super Formula around Barcelona. It's a 15 lap race and it's go.
Green flag.
Start wasn't as good. Car behind me had a much better start, but he collided right into the back of another car, sending him out of the race. Very similar to what I've seen in the other video I did a couple of weeks ago in Belgium. It's very important to get the car up to temperature first before you really start attacking these kind of corners and before you really start attacking your opponents. It's very easy to loop this car around in the opening 2 laps of the race, or to outbrake yourself and drive into an opponent. It's exactly what I'm trying to avoid around here. Got a small gap to the cars behind me of a few tenths of a second, which gives me the comfort to not really push just yet and just follow the cars around. On the right hand side we've got a car off the road. That is Jake, who was in second position. He has half looped it there and drove across the grass and the gravel to get back on track, as I get attacked by Craig down the outside of this slow left hand corner. Heavy braking zone. You can see the car moves around a bit still. There is not really that much grip yet. It moves around a bit here too, as too do the cars ahead of me. The tire temperatures aren't there yet. This corner is usually flat. It isn't on the opening lap. Car moves away from under you, as you see that happened to the number 9 ahead of me, driven by Carl as well. I'm trying to use overtake to see if I can get it closer, but that is not really the case on this occasion. We're following along well. At the end of lap 2 you can see this last section of the track is much faster now, as Carl ahead of me makes a small mistake on the last corner and I am able to pull alongside this time. There is light contact between us and there's another car coming through, driven by Jake again, who went off earlier on. We got passed by both of them on the outside in this case. Looking back at it, you can see that I'm pulling out and he probably tried to defend a bit more aggressively, which didn't quite work out, and Jake drove right through the middle of both of us. It was really a lucky break for him. I'm trying to see if I can be quicker here in this phase of the race, as the tire temperatures do get in there. We both make a similar mistake going into this slow left hand corner. It's kind of following him through a bit. There's a bit of gravel on the tires now, so I decide to back off a bit for now and see if I can attack him later on. We move on to lap 4, where we've lost a few tenths to him at the moment, and I've track extended a bit there, causing me my first incident point. A lap later though, we're right back on his tail and trying to get past, of course, as we go into the last sector of the track. Very, very long corner this is. You need to be really patient, and I tried to be a little bit too impatient there, putting the power and the overtake on, which caused me to half spin the car almost. And the lap after it wasn't as clean as well, as I track extend a bit there. I'm having some issues trying to get back up to pace and trying to get under his gearbox, but he makes a mistake there on the last corner, and we now take the most right line on the track, on the straight, to get past him, and do so successfully. And we can now start to try getting back after Jake, as he's slowly dropping into our clutches here. Make a small error there on the curbs, but Jake is definitely slower than I am at this point. He may have some car damage from going off track earlier, who knows. But we're starting to catch him here going into this last sector in lap 7. As that happens, he pulls to the left and actually lets us go through, probably just wants to make the best of his race time here and not fight with us too much. I had overtake ready to go at him into turn 1. That isn't necessary. I will now use it to just increase my pace overall in this lap, as we dive in the low 1 minute 23s, about a second slower than the lead cars in 5th position. Cars in front do definitely pick up the pace, as I am about 5 seconds, 4.5 seconds behind the number 6 car in position number 4. They are battling each other though, and we might just get back into it. That does seem to happen, as 2 laps later we have halved the gap to the cars in front, and since they're still battling each other for 3rd position at the moment, we might just be in for a podium position if I manage to pass them in the last couple of laps of this race. I do seem to have the pace to get closer to them. I'm pushing really hard at this phase of the race to try and get those guys. I extend the track a couple of times over the next couple of laps, as you'll see here. In lap 13 I'm going wide on the exit of this fast right-hander in the middle of the track. Very easy to do actually, because it's a blind corner. But I'm pushing for it, because without that you can forget about it. On lap 14 we're a 1.5 seconds off Shu, who is in the car number 7, as I make a similar mistake to earlier in that little chicane over there. And then track extend yet again on the exit of that fast right-hander, but we're trying to catch him and get into 4th position in this race. You can pretty much forget about the podium, as there's a lap to go, 1.3 seconds behind Shu in P4, and I'm absolutely going for it. By the end of the 1st sector I've cut that down to 9/10 of a second, and really fancying to use the overtake and see in the last sector if I can draw alongside before the finish line, or maybe into the braking zone coming up after the next straight. I track extend yet again for the final time this race, of course, and we go into the braking zone a bit too far behind him, but there's still hope for me that I can get him on a run to the line, even though it might be unlikely. And especially now that I'm gone into this corner, as you see I'm running a bit wide. I go into the gravel and I nearly crash the car into the wall on the very last lap of this race. By the time I've recovered that car, we are losing to Darcy in P6, and we've been demoted to 6th position just before the line at the end of the race. Overall, I'm pretty happy about that race, except for the last bit, of course. We've gained a bit of I rating and lost a bit of safety rating though. But that was a pretty fantastic race, a lovely track with a lovely car. On the replay off board you can really see that I've moved off the racing line mid-corner and tried to exit it like normal, and that is what did me in there at the end. Luckily just avoided the wall. But as you see, car 12 is about to approach me from behind there. And he did really well to just drive around me and not crash into it, as I was pretty much on the inside. But that's it, we finish in P6. Thanks for watching, and hopefully till next time, goodbye.